morning. It's great to finally meet you after so many emails back and
Great
forth.
to meet you too. Hi.
I would love to know what you thought of the listings I sent over.
Yeah, thank you so much for sending them. I loved the house on Ridge Street with the trails and the forest in the back. That was beautiful.
I'm a little worried about how steep the street is and all of the steps, so I'm not so sure.
It's one of our best listings. The schools are great. The nature preserve is terrific for property values. It's quiet. It's a good distance from the city, not too close to the bus lines. Parking is reserved just for people in the neighborhood. I hear you about the steps, but it'll be great exercise, right? Why don't we set up a time to go see it? Good morning.
Nice to see you.
It's so great to meet you.
Good morning.
I know it's been a lot of emails back and forth, but I would love to hear what you thought of the listings I sent over.
Yeah, we like some of them, but we were looking online and there was this one. It was beautiful. It was this one house.
Oh, on Ridge Street.
Yeah, but it wasn't on the list.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We loved it. What do you think about that house for us?
Oh, I didn't think that you'd be interested in that house. It's not close to the city or to a bus line, so I didn't think it would be a great fit. The main draw of that house is the nature preserve, but the street is steep. It's a lot of steps. I think some of the other houses I suggested might be a better fit, but obviously we can look at that house if you'd like to.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
I'm Rachel Gotzel, co-founder and senior research advisor to the Perception Institute and professor of law at Rutgers Law School. The real estate agent you just heard wants to do what's right for her clients, but in her sense of what her client wants or doesn't want, she made some assumptions that led her to enthusiastically promote a home to one client while discouraging another client. Even if the agent wanted to be helpful, the feedback from her client suggests that her assumptions may have been incorrect. So let's hear about how and why her actions may violate fair housing laws and the Code of Ethics. All real estate agents know that discrimination's wrong and that treating all clients fairly is the right thing to do. It's also good for business. So why should it be difficult? This is what the science behind implicit bias helps us understand. And understanding how implicit biases can turn into fair housing and Code of Ethics violations is the critical first step to interrupting the behavior. Let's start with steering. Influencing a buyer's choice of community based upon one of the prohibited characteristics under the Fair Housing Act: race, color, religion, sex, including sexual orientation and gender identity, disability, familial status, or national origin. Keep in mind, your city or state may have additional prohibited bases for discrimination. Steering can be intentional, as it often was in the past when real estate agents explicitly directed white clients to mainly white neighborhoods and did not offer those same homes to clients of other races or ethnicities. But steering can also be the result of implicit or unconscious bias. Often, it is the agent's implicit assumptions, for example, that people want to be in neighborhoods with people of their same race or ethnicity, that can lead to fair housing and Code of Ethics violations. Implicit biases can be reflected in the words an agent uses. I think you'd be more comfortable in this neighborhood. The agent doesn't consciously intend to treat anyone unfairly or to discriminate, but the effect is the same. If you're directing clients toward or away from particular neighborhoods because of a prohibited characteristic, it's steering, and it's illegal and unethical. Or a real estate agent's biases about who is economically well off or who will become affluent may lead the agent to show some clients a home a little above their stated price range, but not others. The agent may not realize that they're treating clients with the same income differently, but the differences in the listings will reveal the violations. Another area where implicit bias could lead to fair housing or Code of Ethics violations is denial of equal service. Even when an agent does not actually refuse service to people based upon their identity, the type or amount of service can vary greatly. For example, how many listings each client is shown, or who is shown homes without a pre-qualification letter. It might seem like an agent would only do this knowingly and intentionally, but the science shows us how this can occur without our awareness. In one scenario, the office may require pre-qualification letters, but the real estate agent makes exceptions for people they assume will get loans, and those people almost always are white, able-bodied, and male. In another scenario, there isn't a policy at all, and the agent just relies upon instinct to decide whether it's worth taking the time to show homes before a buyer has a pre-qualification letter. The instinct, which can be another word for implicit bias, is that some groups are less likely to get a loan, so the agent requires the letter for people in that group, but not others. Once you understand that implicit biases can lead to fair housing and code of ethics violations, you can take steps to make sure you override those biases. In our next and final video of this series, you'll learn some strategies to interrupt implicit biases. Dive deeper by taking NAR's Bias Override Classroom course. To learn more, visit nar.realtor and search Bias Override, Overcoming Barriers to Fair Housing.